cannot repeat that. DP, Jay West, House.
Destined for greatness, my name is written in stars, and I will give everything, all that I have to the cause. Fight against evil, run through the pain, battle it all, this is more than a game. I am a lion and I can't be tamed, it's how it was made, it's ice in my veins, run through it all. No matter the odds, I will answer a call, the enemy knocks on the door. Even the greatest among us will fall, but the greatest will get back up. So I won't back down and I won't give up, and I will act now and I will stand up. They know that I'm here for it all. Rise up, no matter what's in my way. Rise up, I will do what it takes. I will keep on fighting, I'll rise through it all. Rise up, no matter what's in my way. Rise up, I will do what it takes. I will keep on fighting, I'll rise through it all. Rise up.
No matter what it is you need, you'll find it at your local Par-Mar store. From gas to grocery, snacks, and everything else you always seem to run out of, Par-Mar stores has it. Need more savings? Download the Par-Mar app and sign up for the Par-Mar Rewards Card. You won't only see our stores in your neighborhoods, you'll see us in your neighborhoods too. We are proud to be in your town and proud to be a part of the community. Come see us at Par-Mar stores, and remember, if there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
Wilson Martino Dental. Did you know that 95% of our dentists have graduated from WVU? And many former players and WVU coaches trust Wilson Martino Dental with their oral health. The Mountaineers and Wilson Martino Dental. Yeah, we do that.
And yes, we do it as well at Mountaineer Hardcourt Legends, the pregame for the Texas Tech Red Raiders. And of course, I'm the WolfMan, Dale Wolfley. I'm the show host. And for our Hardcourt Legends, we have here at the bottom of my screen, I have Jay West, Jarrod West, all-time great point guard, Sweet 16, brother. How you doing today?
Right. Glad to be here.
Well, we're glad you're here as well. And of course, Darryl Prue, DP. How you doing today, my man?
I'm doing good, big dog. What's up, Jay West? Uh-oh, you went silent on his Jay West?
Yeah, connection issue there. But DP, while Jay West is getting that fixed, let me ask you this, man. You said it was grade day today, and for your people that you're teaching your kids, and has anybody failed? Did you give anything F's there?
Man, they're coming close. We're doing health, and a couple of students are not doing that, working their health book. So, yeah, they need to catch up by tomorrow. So I don't want to have to get no S and D's.
Okay, well let's see. If we had to grade a little bit of the Mountaineers today, I don't know if we'd have the same scores or not, but some would be passing and some, I guess, probably not. But you know what? With the introduction being what it is, and I want you to just take a look. We know what happened the last game. We had high hopes for the Texas Longhorns. Jay West, I'm going to start out with you, man. What was your take there on the game?
I mean, it's been ripped. Last 4 or 5 minutes, who's going to close it out? New car, like I tell you, it was going to get going. They well from Dessous for Texas. He played well for them. And then you got to talk about some inflicting wounds. One of our best played for 17 minutes of the second half. When we're struggling to score, still got to find him. So the same script.
You're breaking up. You're breaking up a little bit, Jarrod.
Hey, Jay, why don't you go ahead and get off and come back on?
Yeah.
Click back on. DP, I'm going to ask you the same question, man. While Jarrod does that, I'm going to ask you the question is, what is your take away from the Texas loss? Give me some good, though. Give me some good.
Keaton Johnson's becoming that guy. That's the only thing good right now. You know what I mean? Like he's been the only consistent offensive player. The defense, it's a little better, but I just think, other guys offensively have not stepped up. I mean, we thought this was going to be a better offensive team, and right now they don't look like it. We got all these excuses that's going up in the air, but Keaton Johnson is really the one showing a lot of heart right now, and some of it just having heart and being gritty, and that's what he's doing.
All right, so if you notice that, I said that a couple of games ago because he hit that 20, and the thing is like, hey, we need a point guard, but at the same time, he's had to step up or the games wouldn't even be close. Now, you go back to the last 3 games previous to Texas, they had 27 total turnovers, the 3 games combined. And then against Texas, they had 20 turnovers. What's your take, Jay West? You hear us now?
I can hear y'all. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, you're good now.
Much better.
Okay. You said what's the take on our turnover situation?
Yeah, because you were the point guard. You're the guy that knows what it was like. You had the 3-to-1 your senior year, assist to turnover ratio, so you know what you're talking about.
Right. And we've talked about it. We don't really have a true point guard, true playmaker. Mm-hmm. And I caught the tail end of what you guys are talking about. Keedy has done a great job of taking some scoring. He's been scoring more for us, but we still need that point guard, that floor general to limit the turnovers, make good decisions, get the ball to people who need it. And I kind of mentioned it on my last statement. We didn't have probably the closest thing we have to our point guard on the floor for the whole second half until like the last 3 minutes of the game, which is kind of don't really know how to explain that, but we need that. We need guys on the floor that can limit turnovers, make good decisions, and get the ball to people who can score. We won't win, and I've said this several times before. We won't win if Toussaint and Keedy are our top 2 or 3 scorers. It sounds good. It's good that those guys are helping, but we won't win close games if those guys are our scorers.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Prue.
To piggyback off what he said, like how does Joe Toussaint sit out so much time? You talking about you forgot? That doesn't make sense. And if I'm Trey Mitchell and I'm playing against my old team, I'm going at their neck.
Yeah.
And they went at his neck. You know what I mean? Like they went at his neck and knew what he was about. And you 4 for 11. You know what I mean? I just had 20-something shots against them. I would have showed them why. I shouldn't have left you. You should have been begging me to stay. And it's this right here is, you can't, everybody got a heart, but it's different hearts when it comes to sports.
I'm showing here the WVU of the Big 12 through January 21, and you got Trey Mitchell. He's number 1. He's 13th in the Big 12 at 13 points a game. Field goal percentage. You can see they're 10th, they're 15th individually, they're 9th and 10th as a team when you go through the Big 12. It's not clicking, and I hear this. Well, again, we're still worried about trying to get these guys that came from different areas. Well, I'm thinking to myself, Kansas State picked 10th in the Big 12, and Marquise Knowles is back. Keontae Johnson, as great as he is, he wasn't there last year. When you take a look at the other players on that team, there's one other guy. So there's other teams dealing with this, and I'd say Texas Tech is dealing with that themselves. So, there's got to be a way to be like when Bob Huggins says, well, we run set after set. But in those sets, they don't know what they're doing. Darryl Prue, you're a coach, man. You say, okay, so we're running set after set, and they don't know what they're doing. They still don't know what to do. What do you do as a coach?
You got to teach. We're teachers. I went to an alternative school. So alternative mean emotionally disturbed, people reading backwards, all kind of things. And I had them running 2 plays from the Princeton. 2 plays from the Princeton. Just going over it. Even when they make a mistake, show them if they make a mistake, this is what you do. You don't stop playing. And they stop playing when they make a mistake. You know what I mean? Nothing is free flowing with them. It looks like one play. There's no second option. There's no third option. There's no fourth option. You know, just like Tim used to say all the time, you knew everybody's position, and like I could mix guys around. You know, I ran a whole bunch of Princeton stuff at a public high school with no Division I players, probably 1 or 2 Division II players, and I added stuff all the time, and I never told nobody they can't get it. They're not smart. They're not running it right. No, I had to fix it and make it easier for them. As anything I did, I had to make it easier for them. Okay, if this doesn't work, you know, just do this. All right, maybe we need to switch this around a little bit. They were running the same flex action to get that little layup every game, and I look at it every game. So imagine someone's watching 8 tapes of them and they see the same play every game. That's the only play. That's the only play they really run to get a bucket out of it. And it has one option of it. If Bell jumps back and shoot it, you put up that stat and that stat on there. Another thing that shows you there's no block shots.
You see that?
There. Yeah, it was no block shots on there.
Not one.
Put it back on it. Right, no block shots. How you gonna be a major college basketball team and no block shots? I couldn't jump over a sheet of paper, but I got at least 1 block shot a game. You know what I mean? I wasn't that athletic, as they say, but I got 1 block shot at least a game. You know what I mean? But like, they had nobody protecting the rim, and that's all those numbers. They sound good, look good, but if you don't know how to win, and if they're not teaching them how to win, you got to teach them how to play. Big John Thompson, the father, said to me, gave me the best advice as a coach. He said, teach the game. He said, as small as throwing a ball into the post, don't assume they know. That was the best advice he gave me. So when I do my thing with players and work with them, I try to teach them everything. And that's what guys like Jarrod West coach in high school, he can teach certain things that some people can't because he went through it.
Right. All right, Jay West, give me quickly, run down your list of what you would do to try to change it.
I mean, a lot of that is like, I've talked about it for the last week or two. I still don't know what our identity is. So if I don't know it, I don't think this team has an identity. And in crucial moments, it flares up. And like Prue said, we run that flex. After the first option, we don't know what to do. Then we run motion. When you run in motion, that's not really an identity either because we don't have the playmakers to make the offense look fluid. Who's our go-to guy? Who's our second option? We don't know. Obviously, if one of your best guys is on the bench for the whole second half, that means there's no identity on the sideline either. I mean, what are the assistant coaches saying? Are they saying, hey, Joe hadn't been – we just don't have an identity. And then, defensively, we give up 75 to 80 points consistently. So if you're giving up 75 to 80 points consistently on defense and offensively you don't have an identity, you're not going to win many games. And once again, we're close. We're not getting blown out. But, when you don't have an identity, 1 or 2 possessions a game, and that's what the games are coming down to.
Yeah, when you think about identity, it really is knowing who you are and what gets you through the crunch time. Yes. What you go back to, what's your basics, what's your fundamentals that you have to go back to rely on to execute when everything else maybe just isn't quite there. And that can go for any sport that requires it. So when I look at this, so let's listen to Josh Eilert. Josh was on there today instead of Coach Huggins. And, Josh was talking about moving ball side to side. But I actually really like Josh on there today because I think that the reporters weren't afraid to ask him questions about Huggy. I'm serious. And I think Josh came out because, with Huggy Berry, that's a legend there. So it makes it tough on the reporters as well. But listen to Josh.
They have a lot of size. And in a lot of ways, defensively, they're going to throw a lot of people at you. Mark Adams has been notorious for his defense. So isolations are going to be a struggle for anybody. And like I told our team last night in the scouting report, more than any time ever, we're going to have to really move the ball. If we don't move the ball from side to side and really pass it and share it, we're going to struggle. But if we get into the mode where we're getting selfish and guys just want to, go one-on-one, they're gonna run guys at you.
Okay, so Jay, I'm going to flip right back to you to get this. What does that tell you? What Josh is saying? Getting selfish, running isolations. What is that telling to the layman person listening to what Josh is saying in the technical terms?
Was that for me?
Yeah, that's for you. But yeah.
Obviously, he's having good coach talk, meaning against good defensive teams, you're not going to score on the strong side. You got to move the ball from weak side to strong side to get the defensive teams to shift, especially when you don't have dynamic playmakers. You look at a team like Baylor, they can go ISO. They have 3 or 4 playmakers. Texas with Carr, Hunter, those guys. So he's saying against Texas Tech, they're known for having great man-to-man defense and team defense. They load up on the strong side. So we don't move the ball, share the ball, set good screens, play with good angles. We're going to have a hard time to score. Most importantly, you got 2 desperate teams. They're behind us, and they're home. So they're licking their chops tonight. They know they need to get a win. So we definitely have to play at a high level today on the offensive end and share the ball and make teams move, cut hard if we want to have a chance today to win on the road.
What about you, DP?
I mean, it's surprising, like we've been saying this since we started, how the ball's not moving, offense is not good, again, being selfish, whatever they want to say, moving the ball from side to side is a coaching thing. Let's be honest. You come down court, then you switch it to the other side. Kansas did it every time. They'll come down court and throw it to the other guard or to whoever. We don't do that. We try to hit the high post, and that's not moving the ball from side to side. And like Jarrod said, we don't have playmakers, so the defense don't shift. They standing there looking, and we don't have a guy like Noel from Kansas State that can facilitate. So it's no cutting, there's no backdoor stuff, there's no good screens. We don't have guys to come off the screens. We don't have nobody really to drive the lanes. So it's a lot of different things that we don't have that we're missing, and it's not working. I remember Hugs when I was coaching at Georgetown. He had this 5-out thing, and when they throw it to the corner, they screen at the top. And they used to get that little layup under the basket. They're not even doing that no more. He's changed his whole offensive philosophy with the 5-out. He has some good stuff out of that, but now I don't know what they're doing.
All right, so let's take a look here at Keidre Johnson and his 22 points that he had. What's he doing good there? Like right there, he's taking it right to the net, right to the paint.
I mean, that was a good action. Right here, he just being a basketball player. Ball move, got a rebound and throw it out. You usually get those. When you get an offensive rebound, throw it to somebody else. He's getting open shots. He's making them. He's taking his time. He's free. The scouting report probably was on him. He got to close out short. Now right. He's closing out. People have to close out harder on him now because he's making shots. That first play when he drove to the bucket, the ball went from one side of the court to the other, and he got a layup. So that's what you got to do. You got to keep guys occupied and just instead of having all the defenders standing there staring at each other. And he's hitting shots. He just right here, coming off, got his green, good duck in over here by Bell, gives him a layup.
Let me ask this: when you're the number one defender to their top guy, and now you're going to be the number one scorer, how hard is that, Jarrod?
Well, like I've talked about where Keedy should be our go-to guys as it pertains to stopping someone or defensively. I said, and when I make these statements like Keedy and Joe can't be our leading scorer, that has nothing to do against. I'm not disrespecting them from a basketball player.
Right.
I'm saying as a coach, when you've put together a team and you have Stevenson, you have Emmett, you have Trey Mitchell, like those guys have to be our go-to guys on offense. So now you're looking at a situation where he's scoring 20, 25, and he has a lot on his plate to score and create. That's not how we're made up. That's not our DNA. So it puts a lot of pressure on us. And, I mean, if Prue will tell you, some of that stuff is fool's gold. Like, it looks good for the first 35 minutes, but at the end of the game, if that's not your team DNA, if that's not your guy, when it's really time, when you need it at crunch time, then it really shows up. And that's why most of our games come down to that. We can't rely on him to do that consistently all night.
Yeah, he's going to run out of gas. I mean,
Yeah.
like he plays too hard on the other end.
Yeah.
And he's playing that hard on the offensive end. I mean, like he's not that kind of an athlete. No disrespect to him, like he said, it's just like he's going to. I don't know how he's going to do it. Then he got to go to practice the next day. He got to go to practice the next day because other ain't going to take it easy on him in practice. So it's the season is becoming a grind. You know what I mean? So, and he has to keep working on his offensive game just to be solid. And he's working too hard on both ends of the floor. Somebody else needs to step up also. And that's what Jarrod's saying.
And Wolf, if you look at it, so Keedy and Joe are not known as being high-level three-point shooters. Their three-point percentages are probably upper 20 or low 30s. So that's on the scouting report. So these guys, some games, if they make some shots, that's schematically from the opposing coach. We're going to live and die with them making a few shots. So on our team, we have to know that. That's like when I say fool's gold, that's what I'm talking about. They'll give you a few of those shots, knowing that on the back end, if you shoot your load early making shots, the law of averages is going to catch up with you if that's not that's not your go-to guy. So,
let me say this to the layman person. That's like Jarrod Deggy doing a read, quarterback read.
Exactly right.
And they say, if he gets 7 yards in that play, we'll live with that because he's not going to do that very often.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. I got it done. All right. I'm sorry, JD. I apologize for that, but that's a good quarterback read. All right. So let's take a look here at what I thought was something good that I think we need more of. And I'm looking at Jimmy Bell. At times he can be a beast out there. I don't see him doing it in a continually dominant way. And as we take a look right here, when you look at Jimmy, I screwed that up. There we go. When you look at Jimmy, he's there. He can be a beast. He can be good. I think that Seth Wilson probably should get a little more playing time in there. Of course, you see Emmett right there doing a great job with they do the steal and the run. And, I got to tell you something. DP, I think you need more of the assist out of Emmett or getting more open because he's getting 10 points. But that's what he gets every game. I mean, he's such a better athlete than that. And of course, they talk about Seth Wilson. Tell me what you guys think about this in Trey. I think Trey, man, this is his old team, Texas. I thought he might go off in this game, and he's got the skill to do so. So go ahead, Jay. I'm going to start with you, then you fill it in.
Once again, I agree with everything you said. And I think that goes back to identity. We don't know. Like I said 2 weeks ago, we knew going into the game, Damian Owens was going to get 15 shots. Adrian Pleasure was going to get – this team doesn't really know who, what, when, where, why, and it shows up. Now, as it pertains to Big Bell, Big Bell had a double-double one game. Then the next game, he might touch the ball 2 or 3 times. He doesn't know how many times he's going to get the ball. I think Emmett's is all self-inflicted. They just need a coach. They need someone like me to get in his face, him and Mitchell, and be like, hey, buddy, are you going to put your big boy pants on and step into the role you're called to be? If not, let me know, and then we can maybe upgrade someone to that role. But because Emmett, you got 6'8" and 6'9", 2 guys who are pretty skilled, but they can defer and kind of fade away. They got to address that. And if they're not going to do it, that's when you might elevate some other people. So once again, we just have an identity crisis, and until that's addressed head on, it's going to be a roller coaster.
Okay, so that brings up to a question to me. Darryl, do we have a leadership crisis?
It's leadership. It's a leadership thing. It's a skill level thing. It's a heart thing. It's a whole bunch of stuff that, you could say leadership. And I think Keedron is trying.
Yep, he's trying.
I think he's trying, but if there's no one's following, like you said, all these guys coming from all different areas. Jarrod said it earlier, we don't have an offense identity. You got Bell right here. That's his only move he really has, going over to that left shoulder and shooting the right-hand hook, but they don't go back to him. He only get 4 points. You know what I mean? He'll hit 10. We get all excited. Then he'll go back to who he's always been. And my point, I don't know if he was ever been a guy to ever score a lot of points because he came in, it was 340. So evidently he didn't play that much wherever he was. So, you got to think about, if guys are seniors and never really was a star where they were, how did we expect them to be really good?
Okay.
Thanks.
Well, honestly, I get what you're saying, but do you think if these guys step? I mean, when I look at Evan Matthews, am I wrong when I say that I think this guy could not maybe take over a game, but could be a major factor in a game. Am I
No.
overstating it?
No, you're not wrong at all. He had the tools. He just don't do it. You know what I mean? Like Jarrod said, he needs somebody to dig into his beat and, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, to see what's going on, because it's him. He can drive it. He can shoot it. Like, if I was allowed to shoot as much as he can shoot, he has no limitations on what he can do. You know what I mean? Like, it's you know, like to drive it. I don't think he likes to get touched. You know, like the bigger guys. I don't think he likes to get in there and mix it up. You know what I mean? Like, so, you know what I mean? If he's a guard, I get that too. But he's still got to drive. He'll never drive off to that, get off on one foot and get in there. Running hooks, running layups. You know what I mean? Like, he need to do a whole variety of we call it a 3-level score. And that's what you talk about Johnson from Kansas State. He can score from the 3-point line. He can drive it. He can post up, mid-range. We need somebody like that to do that consistently. You score a lot of points. You know, you can score 4 points from each level, and you averaging 15 points a game.
Easy.
You know what I mean? Like, that's all. A couple of points here. You know what I mean? He's fine at breaking out, getting, you know, open layups. But then when it got tough, when the Big 12 got tough, he faded away. He has to do something. You know, Mitchell had to do a little bit more. He's way too talented not to give you more than 12 points.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I was right that we need more of that from those guys, correct? And just plus a little more leadership, plus a whole little bit more of this. And okay, I got you. So when we say more, okay, is this time now that right now, you know, what the record is, what it is, 1 win in the Big 12, is it time to start unleashing some youth that, you know, Bob Huggins has been saying, you know, he doesn't want to quite play him yet to ruin them in a way, but maybe they need some experience. Like, you know, I'm looking here at some guys here. When you talk about it, James Okwanko. I mean, he has 6 points. He's there. He rebounds. He gets in it. You know, go ahead, Jarrod.
It's time for something, Wolf. I mean, and I don't know if that's it, but it is. Once again, without being in the locker room, I don't know what conversations are being made. I'm just know from my coaching style, I like to challenge people, and if I've challenged you and given you the opportunity, and you don't ring the bell, yes, I agree with you. It's time to go with someone else. I don't know if Emmett has been challenged. I don't know if Trey's been challenged. I don't know if Stevens has been challenged. I don't know. So if they have been challenged, yes, it's time to go with someone else. I mean, I like Seth because Seth makes shots. That he goes to the glass hard and competes. But it's hard because those guys get spot minutes or 2 or 3 minutes here. Then you go back to the guys who you trust as a coach. So my thing is, as a coach, if I'm trusting you with 30 minutes, 33 minutes, hey, I require, you know, a little more effort, a little more productivity. Once again, that's just a question that I don't know what's going on in-house, so that's a hard one to answer.
I got you. And, but, D, how do you find out unless you give them 20 minutes?
Or give them some time. Give them more than a couple of minutes, and when they make a mistake, don't take them out on one mistake. You know what I mean? Like, let them play through the mistakes so they can learn. Like, this kid had some energy the other day. I thought he played well. And I think with Bell, Muhammad, and James, I think all 3 of them going to have to, as a total, get 10 and 10. Not 10 from one guy or 10 from the other guy. I think as a group, they have to do a lot better job. I think, I don't know, like you said, I don't know what's going on the sideline, in the locker room. I don't know what's going on with Muhammad because he's going backwards. You know what I mean? Like, I thought he was decent. You know what I mean? Like, now, you know, every guy make a mistake, he's getting taken out. And how can you learn? You learn through your mistakes. Yeah. And you should have played them guys a lot more earlier. So when they started playing now, they'll be ready for it. And these guys, you know, I thought James was nervous earlier, coming from wherever he came from. Then he talked about these other 2 freshmen that sit on the bench a couple of games ago. And who are they? We don't ever see them get in the game, so I don't even know who they are. You know what I mean? Like, can they play at all? What can they do? So, you know, you got to do something, because what's going on now ain't working. But it can't work, you know what I mean? But let's see what somebody else can do. Give them some minutes to see what else they can do.
Well, for me, is I would at least give it a shot. You know, you don't have to bring them all in. You don't have to make them all play for 30 minutes. I mean, you could give them up to 15 to 20, I think, and do baby steps with them gradually in there. And maybe that would fire up the other players a little more too, because competition has always been that. Competition makes you better because you start seeing your playing time going down. And, that's just the way it is in all sports.
Yeah.
Go ahead, D.
Yeah, like give a guy 4 minutes. Every 4 minutes, there's a TV timeout. You don't even have to waste the timeout. There's a timeout. You give a guy 4 minutes to see, let him get in the flow, let him get comfortable, let him get his feet wet, get the butterflies out his stomach. Especially a kid like Konwu. He was running around, jumping all over the place. And that's what we need in this league, some athleticism. He ain't got to score. I remember one game, he hit a 15-footer. I was like, I ain't know he could do that. You know what I mean? So you just got to give him a flow. Let him get in the flow. Put another guy in for 4 minutes. Put him in with a strong team. Don't put him in there with a whole bunch of young guys and they all look bad. Put him in with a strong team where all he got to do is rebound, play some defense, and hit a shot here and there.
Well, you have to wonder because I always was a big guy on energy. If you got a lot of energy, you can make up for talent or understanding. If I made a mistake, I was always told, go make it 100%. And if you do 100%, you might disrupt something else. You know what I mean? But even if you do the wrong thing, continue on. And I think that's what I think this team maybe lacks a little bit. Are you all right over there? You good? Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm good. I had to drink some water.
All right. I thought you were getting pissed off. All right. Well, listen, here's the one thing that they had a problem with, 20 turnovers. Watch it. Go ahead, James. Go ahead, start out, man. You know what it is, but you see it. It's passing to nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, you can't make turnovers like that. Once again, we've talked about it a lot. Normally, when you make turnovers, it's because people are making bad decisions. I don't know who our best passer is, or best decision maker is. We don't have a true point guard. And when you run a motion offense, you're giving everybody kind of free reign to make decisions. And I don't know if we have good decision makers. So that's might attribute to some of the turnover also.
I mean, right there, you're looking at it, 2 minutes left, 61, 65, and you can't even get it out of bounds.
Oh, but go back to that play right there. It's effort right there. You know what I mean? Like, keep going back. Right before this play.
Yeah.
Look how he went for the ball.
Crazy.
You know what I mean? Like, he just reached for the ball, and the other kids been what? She just backs up. Okay, nobody else is playing. They're playing like nobody else is out there. You know what I mean? Like that's a play that could be different. You know what I mean? Like, this team gonna turn the ball over. We already know that. They was doing it before the Big 12, and small things like that, and they're catching the ball with two hands. It's gonna happen, but we gotta find a way to make up for it. Get a stop on the other end, make a shot. You know what I mean? Make some free throws. It's a game. Basketball's a game full of mistakes. This is how you deal with it. You know what I mean? So, and we're not dealing with it good.
No, we're not. I'd say we're not dealing with it well. I would say that is the most frustrating thing. Is that it seems like there's a panic or rush when it doesn't have to be. You don't have to panic and rush a pass off when. And just throw it to nowhere, or not know what you guys are doing. So, anyways, let me read this up to our sponsors, our fantastic sponsors that keep us going, keep us rolling, that believe in Mountaineers, that believe that they can win tonight against Texas Tech, and that's Country Roads Trust, West Virginia's name, image, and likeness team, changing the game for WVU student athletes, doing a great job. Everybody at CRT, Country Roads Trust. Dan Campbell, Toyota World. Shop the world, man, and shop the world. You're a Toyota dealer in Fairmont, West Virginia. And, of course, my favorite you got Bobby and Dave, you got Wilson Martino Dental. They are big supporters of WVU. And did you know that all their dentists graduated from WVU? Well, all but one. They're orthodontists. Hey, I said orthodontists correctly, by the way. So that's pretty good pronunciation. Orthodontists went to Penn State. Well, I guess we all can't be perfect. The Mountaineers and Wilson Martino Dental. Yeah, we do that. Well, I know this. Their smiles that they fix are perfect. So then again, we have Parmar Stores, our title sponsor. We have over 200 stores in 5 states, West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Maryland. And they just keep opening up more and more and more. And that's why we love Parmar Stores, because they keep opening more and more and supporting Mountaineer Hardcourt Legends, beating Darryl Prue, Jarrod West, and wherever Tim Kearney might be tonight. he's on the lam. We don't know what he's doing, but he's on the lam, so we're going to go ahead and figure that out. So before we get to Texas Tech, real quickly, all right, I'll go through with you, D, because you were the guy. 1-3-1. Why do you do it at defense? And this is for layman. Now, this is just layman terms. 1-on-1. Okay, why do you do it, and how do you defeat it?
I just want to disrupt the offense. And so you got guys. You wanted length, athleticism. So you want the team to pass the ball over, and sometimes they get lazy in passing. You get a steal. Now how you attack it? The skip passes and attacking. Yep. Skip passes and attacking. Get into the lane. When we have Roy Hibbert playing against the B-line 1-3-1, we used to post up the little guard that was in the back and try to throw it from the top. So it was the easiest way to get it in without the double teams coming. Then we had to do skips. It was a hard thing to play against. They were very disciplined. They were very well coached. But you have to be disciplined as well. You have to be good passers. Good shooters, good ball handlers, getting in the lane, good playmakers. We talk about all that what we're lacking, but you have to be a basketball player. Basketball players have to be able to pass, dribble, and shoot. And that's what you have to be able to do against that 1-3-1.
Jay West, you want to add anything to that?
Same thing. Like he said, I think most important thing against the 1-3-1 is you got to attack it. Sometimes people are too passive and your offense is half court. I think you attack the seam real quick and put pressure on the rim with a backdoor lob or just attacking that backline guard. Normally, the backline guard is the shortest guy on the floor. J.D. Collins is probably what Coach Prue is talking about. So they're posted up George Hibbert 7'2" against J.D. Collins 5'9". And if you're aggressive, you can take advantage of it. If you stay out 35 feet and throw the ball side to side, then you're going to end up shooting a shot clock 3. So you got to attack it, skip passes, attack the seam, put pressure on the back line.
Oh, excellent. Okay, very good. And I have to say it. So youngsters out there, and this is from somebody, youngsters
John
out there,
Hickey.
John Hickey, how good the Mountaineer team was when Darryl Prue played. They used to say that's 2 for Prue. I like to say now, with your knowledge that you're not so young and dumb, I would say now is what would Prue do?
Oh, I still get my 2.
Yeah, I
I
bet
shoot
you
a little
did.
bit now, so I get a couple threes also.
Yeah, I don't know. You know what? Steve Berg said you hogged the ball. Berger said you hogged it, man.
Oh, yeah, they did. Them West Virginia, man, them West Virginia guys, Jarrod, man, they ain't pass the ball, man. They were funny.
All right, good. I'm glad I finally got to there. I've had it up there for a couple of games of the 1-3-1, and I wanted to get everybody to understand about how you go about it, why you do it, and attack it. Let's go to Texas Tech now. 10-9, 0-7. They're scoring 75 points per game, allowing 68. They're plus 3 rebounds, 47% field goal, 30% or 34% 3-pointers. They're averaging 8 steals. Now they're plus 1 in turnovers for the team. 0-7, Big 12. They're kind of like the same thing that you're seeing from the Mountaineers. But I'll tell you one thing you can't say about that, man, is they can go side to side now.
Yes, I agree with you. I think this year they're kind of going through an identity crisis, kind of like what we are. They're known for being a very, very good defensive team. And I think in the past few years, they've lost some of their offensive talent. They brought in a few transfers, and the transfers haven't really stepped up like they probably expected. And as a result, you're seeing them struggle as well, which isn't good for us tonight because they're going to be playing desperate. And they don't have a win yet. We have one, and they're at home. Like I said last week, in conference games, it's crucial to win home games. So tonight, they're probably going to come out and play the best they played all year because they're
all year, right? All
Yes.
year. This will be their greatest effort.
I would say it would be tonight.
All right. Well, what about you, Dan? I'm going to go ahead and play this because they got 4 players and averaging double figures in points. And O'Banner's there. He's going to have 15 points per game. We'll show him here in a second. But just watch this offense. Talk about it, man, because I think it's kind of fascinating the way they move around.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I don't think they're that much better than us, but they do this. They get the ball from one side, they get it to the other side. You know, they got a little pick and roll action. They got a little advantage. Throw it out. They sharing the ball. It's like, how many passes is that so far? 5? Yeah. So they get a good shot. I don't think we had a series where we had, you know, a few games we had that many passes. You know, get to one side, go to the other, try to figure it out. And they got a big guy that don't mind scoring. I think he was hurt at the beginning of the year, so they try to incorporate him into the offense. So I think, and he can shoot the 3. So it's that kind of offense is what we want. But I think our offense is so stagnant because we try to get into an isolation instead of moving from one side, getting a cut. You know, you don't have it. He'll throw it back out. He'll swing it to the other side. Try to something else. That doesn't work. Throw it back out. There you go. Then somebody cut. You know, that's basketball. You know, so everybody's getting a chance to share the ball if they don't have it. Not forcing the bad shot. I don't have it. You throw it back. I don't have it. Throw it to the big. I don't have it. Go to the other side. I mean, that's
Pruitt tell you it's hard to play defense for 25 seconds.
Yeah, moving the ball, especially when the ball is moving. You know,
Yeah.
what I mean by the ball is moving, the passing, not the dribbling. Look at this: 1, 2, 3 dribbles, 4. He trying to break the guy down. He get off of it, shot. We don't do that. You know, we showed some clips before when the guy has a ball and the guy's standing right there wide open. We don't even pass it to him. So this is, you know, teams playing like this. That I don't think they have the superstars like the other teams have, like the Johnsons of the worlds and the Kansas of the worlds. They don't have those kind of superstars, but they play pretty good together. They just try to figure it out. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think they're uber talented. You know, so I think that hurts them some. They're not as good as defensively as they were in the past. They have, you know, much more size, but they're a scary team. I wouldn't want to play this team tonight on the road.
Right, especially because they did have a record there for like 29 straight home victories that was broken in the Big 12, the first game of the Big 12 against Kansas this year. So it is a pretty crazy arena, pretty wild. But I don't know. I don't think anything in the Big 12. Maybe Kansas surpasses WVU, but WVU Coliseum is full. It's pretty rocking, man.
Yeah, it's different on the road though. It's like definitely West Virginia has a great facilities, great fans and stuff like that. But going on the road, you know, because you have great fans, you know, sometimes other people have great fans too, and it's difficult. You know what I mean? It's difficult getting a rhythm for whatever reason it is. You know, for being young and you know, not mature enough to handle all of it. Then when things don't go wrong, you assassinate your own stuff in your brain, and it just is a big trickle effect. You know, it just
okay.
Gets
but
bad.
how can you have 4 starters in double digits average and be 0-7?
How much they averaging?
What's that?
How much they averaging? 10?
Yeah, 10, but you got O'Banner there for 15. So
yeah.
and he's got 36 double doubles now, O'Banner, which I'm going to put him up next here because this is a guy. You tell me, how do you shut this guy down? Because he is their one guy. That is, if there's a guy, it's him. And of course, let me get him up here.
In the Big 12, you know, is he better than Johnson? Is he better than Noel? Is he better than the other guys they playing against?
Not saying that. But I am saying that this is a guy you got to watch out for when you're on the road and a team's hungry.
Oh no, I was talking about something different about the 0-7. It like the league is tough. I mean, their game's been close too. You know what I mean? They trying to figure out how to win. You know, with all that. But at least the guy's showing up. You know what I mean? He's averaging 15. You know what I mean? So he's showing up, and you know, it's gonna. You know, we got a lot of good teams. You know what I mean? Like this. You know, like Texas Tech and West Virginia. We're part of the teams that's struggling the most, but we could beat everybody else in the country. So you know, it's just our league is just that tough, and it's, you know what I mean? Like you got pros that's playing on other teams. You know, we don't have an NBA player like that.
Well, which kind of we proved it earlier this season when we took on a Purdue and played with them, and you know, with Xavier, we have a team that can be competitive. Although have they digressed to this point where right now that there's just don't have the confidence that they had before they started Big 12 play?
It's the heart. You know what I mean? You could play harder. But West Virginia's gotten spoiled over the years. You had the Damian Owens, the Deshaun Butlers, the Kevin Jones, you know what I mean? You had a lot of good players, the Gansey and all those guys. And we need somebody. Gansey wasn't a I don't know. I don't want to say it. I don't want to defend him, but was he like 30 points a game? He was a very good player that I hated to play against. You know what I mean? Like he just get it done, and we don't have that right now. Just a guy to get it done. Deshaun Butler, I thought he was a pro. Get it done. Kevin Jones, you know what I mean? You knew what they was going to do night in and night out. We don't have that. The only one that's showing up now is Keegan Johnson. He needs some help.
And sometimes Toussaint as well, as I think. I still haven't gone down on him. But this right here, check this out. This is Bacho. And he's the guy that's going to be the scrapper in the paint. He's getting 7 rebounds and scoring 10 points a game. But listen, man, he's also dirty. If you watch him, look at this. What? Okay, seriously, we have 8 technical fouls in the 8 games. And right here, to me, that seems like that could be a problem. If you don't watch out, that a guy like that, I know a guy. When I was in a championship game, they sent a 4-team guy out to swing at me and tried to get me to swing back to get him out of the game. You know what I mean? And that's kind of like this guy here. We have to watch ourselves because our tempers, they have to keep discipline and in check.
You give me a guy like that any day. He did it in front of everybody, and everybody saw it. When I saw it the first time, I kind of turned my head. And I was like, why are they shooting the tech? I wasn't paying attention, so I had to go back and rewind the play. I was like, oh. That's like, he's trying to beat him down floor, so he slowed him down. So then you'll see how the guy reacts. So the guy either going to come back and bust him or just going to not play the rest of the game. He took his heart.
Well, look, I just wanted to throw that in there because I like watching that stuff. You know what I mean?
I know you do. That's that football in you.
Yeah, it's like I want to see what's going on there and who's doing the cheap shots and who's fighting it down there. That was just pure. Hey, that ref caught it right away. Did you see that? I mean,
in front of everybody.
He hit him and it was like whoop. The head went right up, man. So very good by that rep there. But let's take a look at their defense. And I want you to describe it because Josh Eiler yesterday, actually it was in his press conference, said that they like to help weak a lot. And I was looking at it thinking, okay, help weak. This defense seems like they like to collapse. So it almost you have to go in and out, in and out. So go ahead, break it down. Let me know if I'm right or if I'm wrong. I like to throw my stuff out there, and you just tell me if I'm correct or not. But as you can see that the defense, they really move and collapse down into the center, make it hard where you have to shoot from the outside many times. But is that the help right there what I'm talking about? Right there where they go defensive help weak. They double up.
That's what you want. Everybody wants to do that. He's helped. He stayed with it. But they got a good team, and everybody else didn't rotate. I don't think they're strong on the ball, so I think they rely on the help. You see, they relied, and they do a 4-on-5 scramble drill. So what you mean is, the guy get beat. Now it's 4-on-5. So the guy didn't, but somebody knocked it down. But they usually do a scramble drill out of that, and I think, they give you an honest effort. I just don't think they're really that good defensively.
Right. They do seem to move around, though, a lot. Like, I mean, they are active, athletic, it appears to me. I mean, right there you see a foul by the big guy, but they're going to run a big guy out after to the three-point line. They seem to be going in and out. What do you call that?
Solid defenders. They don't have to. They ain't great.
Well, what are they playing, though? What are they doing?
They're just a man. It's just a man. We call it shell defense. Shell defense.
Help defense. Shell drill defense.
Yeah,
I think one of their main issues that they're having this year now, because they're known for being a defensive team, but you look, Kansas, the kid McCullers that starts for Kansas, he was at Texas Tech. Shannon, who's at Illinois now, at Texas Tech. So they've lost 2 or 3 of their big guys, like playmaking, scoring. Like last year, Banner was their 3rd or 4th guy. Now he's their guy. And that's probably the reason, kind of like what Prue was talking about. They're used to having 2 or 3 dogs and guys who can go get a bucket. You take those guys away, and that's probably kind of in the same boat as us. And that's probably why you see they haven't won a game. Defensively, McCullers is a great one-on-one defender. Shannon is an athlete. So they're just a little bit less talented as they've been. Their defense probably isn't as good as it's been. And you take a few offensive guys away, and now they're struggling. And so I think tonight, I honestly think we got a very, very good chance tonight to go in there and steal one.
All right. This is the last video that I have, and it's just, again, their defense. You see Kansas State moving around. DP, how do you go ahead? What are your keys here to beating this defense down and really winning the game?
I think we have to throw it inside. I mean, like make them double, then hit shots from the outside. You know, that's honestly that's not really good defense. Guy ran out of the picture. You know, they'll let you do some things and they'll help, like you said. But look at that. That wasn't a great help. They'll let you do some things, and they're not great defensively. They're big. He's just a big guy. You can shoot over top of him. You can jump over him. They'll let you get shots off. The best way to stop a team is don't let the team shoot, and they'll give up shots. So they'll give up shots. You got to stay patient on offense, execute through the whole game. You can't panic near the end of the game when things are not going right. And I think that's a big deal. Move the ball from side to side and make the defense rotate from side to side.
All right. So what about you, Jarrod? What do you think you got to do here to attack this defense? Do we have to have shooters tonight? Do we have to have guys that are making some deep balls?
We got to have that every night.
I knew you were going to say that, but I mean, especially the way they collapsed down.
Yeah, but once again, I think if we just run our stuff, set good screens, we're gonna get good shots. On the road, obviously, it's a little tougher because the crowd is gonna be coming. Desperation from them tonight is gonna be at an all-time high, in my opinion. But to be honest with you, it goes back to what I've been saying. I don't know our identity, and I don't think that our team knows our identity. And until guys like Stevenson, Matthews, and Mitchell consistently step up, those guys have to combine for 45 points a night for us to win in the Big 12. And then if Edie and Joe combine for 20, and then like Bruce said, the three bigs is 10, you do the math on that. But that's kind of how the hierarchy has to be for us to be successful. Stevenson, Mitchell, and Emmett, they have to step up. Simple as that. It can't be put on Toussaint, Keedy to have to score 40 points. If that continues, you're going to see a similar script down the stretch. It's going to be close, but we're going to tap out.
What about you, D?
Yeah, it's the same. It's when I think the one game they won, they had a lot of patience on offense. They wasn't running around with a chicken with the head cut off. It was making some plays for each other. I think they need to go back to that. Even against Texas, it wasn't that bad, but the kid Carr was just, he's a different level kind of guy. But you have to play together. You have to make plays for each other. You got to play with patience, especially on the road. You can't play wild on the road and think you're going to win. You know what I mean? Like, just have more patience. You play hard and you scrambling around on defense. Don't mean you just do the same thing on offense. Just being poised on offense. We always going to say cutting down the turnovers. There's 20 a game. That's way too much. That's 40 points for the other team. Not letting them score in the paint. 30-something points. That's 70-something points right there. Think about it. Then you miss free throws. You know what I mean? So we the things that West Virginia need to take care of, and I think they'll be fine.
All right. Well, can Keedy do it 3 games in a row and be the leading scorer? Jay West.
Can he? Yeah, that's a possibility he can. Do we need that for us to win? I think that's a bad recipe for us to win. I like now Keedy. If they double team and they leave Keedy wide open, yes, he's got to take those shots and knock them down. If we're giving the ball to Keedy and Keedy's our first option in offense, that's not a recipe for us to win. We have to find Stevenson has to play like he played earlier in the season. Emmett has to be more aggressive, and Trey has to step into the role that we need him to be for us to win. I think Bill needs to play well for us tonight also. I think he could have an advantage tonight on that big kid. But once again, we got to deal with that crowd and their desperation, because if from their standpoint, if they don't win tonight, they're probably looking at their schedule trying to figure out where they're going to get their first win.
All right. Anything else to say about it, DP?
Yeah, I just, you can't rely on in Johnson the average 20. Now the scouting report is going to be different. The shots will be a little harder. You know what I mean? So, for little guys that's not dynamic, it's kind of hard. So, I think he can do it because he has the heart, he has the grit. He's in that mode with Wes and Javon Carter. He cares. You know what I mean? We just need somebody else You know, you want more from, we just keep saying you want a little bit more, you just want more, you just want more. And at one point, when they're going to do it, they're all seniors. They're all seniors.
Well, I'll tell you what. I want more of. I want to see more of somebody knock Baco down. Okay, I want to see them take him out halfway through the midcourt and get him out of his game so he's not in the paint getting all those rebounds and stuff. But hey, fellas, thank you once again. Great job breaking it down. Texas Tech Red Raiders, 0-7 Red Raiders, and the 1-6 Mountaineers in the Big 12. Mountaineers going off at 7:00 tonight. We need this victory. They need this victory. Who needs it more? That's what it's going to come down to, and who's going to fight for it more. Hey, Jay West, thank you so much. Darryl Prue, thank you. And for Tim Kearney, who's on the lam, we will see you hopefully the next time. It's Auburn,
Saturday.
right?
Yes, we'll see them Saturday.
See you Saturday. All right, guys. Thank you so much, man. And we are out.
All right, fellas.
Thank you.
Destined for greatness. My name is written in stars, and I will give everything, all that I have to the cause. Fight against evil, run through the pain, battle it all. This is more than a game. I am a lion and I can't be tamed. It's how it was made. This ice in my veins, run through it all. No matter the odds, I will answer the call. The enemy knocks on the door. Even the greatest among us will fall, but the greatest will get back up. So I won't back down, and I won't give up, and I will act now, and I will stand up. They know that I'm here for it all. Rise up, no matter what's in my way. Rise up, I will do what it takes. I will keep on fighting. I'll rise through it all. Rise up, no matter what's in my way. Rise up, I will do what it takes. I will keep on fighting. I'll rise through it all. Rise up.
No matter what it is you need, you'll find it at your local Par Mar store. From gas to grocery, snacks, and everything else you always seem to run out of, Par Mar stores has it. Need more savings? Download the Par Mar app and sign up for the Par Mar Rewards Card. You won't only see our stores in your neighborhoods, you'll see us in your neighborhoods too. We are proud to be in your town and proud to be a part of the community. Come see us at Par Mar stores, and remember, if there's not a Par Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
Wilson Martino Dental. Did you know that 95% of our dentists have graduated from WVU? And many former players and WVU coaches trust Wilson Martino Dental with their oral health. The Mountaineers and Wilson Martino Dental. Yeah, we do that.